Welcome to This Week from Blue Mountain Broadcasting. I'm your host, Lynelle Ellis, and so glad that you tuned in for the show today. I'm going to be talking with some people who are representing one of my favorite places, the Joe Humbert Aquatic Center in Milton-Freewater. We'll be talking with Brian Steadman from the Public Works Department there in Milton-Freewater, and also with Erika Miller from the YMCA. So I'm looking forward to that. You definitely want to stay tuned to hear the news that they have to share with us about that favorite pool. And then also, we are going to be giving you some updates about what's going on at the station during the station news segment. You definitely want to stay tuned till the end to see that. And we'll begin now with our devotional thought. Many of you know that I recently traveled to Orlando to the ASI convention. That's Adventist Laymen's Services and Industries. And it's a group of lay people, church members who own businesses or who are professionals who get together to talk about mission and how they can reach the world with the good news about God, His love, His kingdom, His salvation. And that's their purpose. That's why they exist as a group and an organization. And it's a fairly large organization. We were in a very spacious hotel with very huge ballrooms and exhibit halls where everybody who has mission-minded things could set up and talk with us about what they're doing at their booths. And it was really, really a great opportunity, not just to see all those ministries taking place, but also to hear the special presentations that took place every day. There were some lectures, there were some sermons, there were some discussion panels. It was just really, really fantastic. And during that experience, I kept hearing a thought repeated in kind of different ways from different people who would be up front presenting. Until finally I said, this is really the theme that God is wanting me to take home from this event. And that was this: go forward in your mission for God. Don't wait until everything is perfect in your own life or perfect with your organization. God is doing a work in you, and He will keep working and keep drawing you closer to Him. So start working for Him today. Do something for Him. Tell somebody else about Him. And don't wait for every sin to be gone or every problem resolved or every mistake to not happen anymore. Just get going in the work for God's kingdom, trusting in Him 100%. And you know, there is a verse in the Bible that speaks really eloquently to this whole idea. And it's, as you probably remember, Philippians 1:6. Being confident of this very thing, that He who has begun a good work in you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. He who began the good work in you will complete it. God is the one who does the good work in us. He draws us to Himself. He's the one who pulled us into a relationship with Him. He's the one who saved us, and He is the one who's working in our lives. Anything good, that's right, anything good that we do is a gift from Him. We don't do any of these things on our own. You probably know the song that's sort of based on this idea I was talking about from Philippians 1:6. He who began a good work in you. It's a Steve Green song. And maybe even when I was reading that verse, some of you began to hear that tune in your own minds of that song that Steve Green delivered to us many years ago, but that is really based on this verse. I'm not going to sing it for you, but here's how it goes. He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. He'll be faithful to complete it. He who started the work will be faithful to complete it in you. If the struggle you're facing is slowly replacing your hope with despair, or the process is long and you're losing your song in the night, you can be sure that the Lord has His hand on you, safe and secure. He will never abandon you. You are His treasure, and He finds His pleasure in you. He who began a good work in you, He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. He'll be faithful to complete it. He who started the work will be faithful to complete it in you. And you probably all know this other verse that's related to these same thoughts and this same theme from James 1:17. It's a familiar one too. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. Every good and perfect gift is from above. I often think of this verse and realize that whenever I see good around me in the world, it's from God. When somebody I know is kind or does something that's wonderful or loving or helpful, or they're evangelizing, that's a good gift coming right from God. And whenever I happen to have anything good that I might do for someone else, I must recognize immediately that all of that is coming from God. It's not me. It's God who provides every good thing in the world. He is the source. So God is the source of all good, and He is working good in your life. So don't be afraid to do something for His kingdom. So these are the thoughts that I've been thinking, that I'm taking personally since I was at the ASI convention. And I'm taking these thoughts to heart personally, and I'm also taking them to heart on behalf of Blue Mountain Television and our ministry here at Blue Mountain Broadcasting Association. We all can move forward in faith. So let's not hesitate. Let's ask God what we can do for Him, and then ask Him for some divine appointments in our lives today, and then watch for Him to show us how we can minister to someone today. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Joining me now are two very important people representing Milton-Freewater and the Aquatic Center there, a great asset to our community. We have Brian Steadman, who is the Public Works Superintendent for Milton-Freewater, and Erika Miller, the YMCA Aquatics Director. So it's just great to have the two of you here on the program today.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Heard a little rumor that we are going to get some heat at the Joe Humbert Aquatic Center in Milton-Freewater. What's happening with that, Brian?
Yes, we ordered heat pumps to replace the original units that went bad, and we were hoping they would get installed this season, but it looks like it's going to be sometime this fall. So we'll should have no problem having the heat working come June of 2023 when we open.
And June is when we're really going to care about it, because the weather's just starting to warm up. The water is not warm from the previous months.
Correct.
Yeah. So what temperature do you kind of hope to have the water at?
So I believe around 83 is our goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Especially in June. Yeah. Later in the summer, we've all noticed that the water kind of warms up over summer anyway, so there won't be as much work for the heat pumps to do later on in the season. But yeah, this is actually incredible news for those of us who enjoy and love that pool and have a lot of good memories with it, because the last few seasons it's been pretty cold some of the times when we've been there, a little too cold. So just really, really great news. So you already talked about when they'll be installed, sometime this fall, right? They're going to be delivered in September-ish.
That's a current ETA for delivery.
Okay. Well, let's talk about how the pool gets used each summer. And Erika, you might want to speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. The pool is most popular is the open swims, where people just come and enjoy the water. We do also do swimming lessons, and this year we're hosting our first lifeguard training course at that pool, and it's a great asset to the community in all aspects of either swimming lessons, lifeguard training, and just coming to enjoy the pool. So that's the biggest uses of it, yeah. And we also have a concession stand that's open there, and they're doing really well this summer. So we love that it's a place where families can come and grab a little bite to eat and enjoy the pool.
I want to talk about the lessons a little bit more in a minute, but first of all, what are the hours for, if you remember maybe off the top of your head, the hours when we can just come and swim with our family when it's not already being used for lessons?
So for the open swim times, we start at 11:30 and we go until 4, and then we have an evening swim that goes from 6:30 to 8. That's Monday through Friday. During the Saturday and Sunday, we have 1 to 6, both of those days.
All right, let's go back to the lessons a bit. So you're offering lessons for the community at what levels of swimming? How do you sign up? That sort of stuff.
Yeah, so we offer levels for swimming lessons for all levels. That's from the very, very beginner all the way through somebody who might be interested in joining swim team at some point. We start as early as 6 months old, and we go all the way up until adult. So we have lessons that go all ages and ranges of ability. Normally there is a charge for the lessons, but because of the generosity through some grants that we wrote, we were able to offer our last 2 sessions this summer free of charge for the Milton-Freewater community, which has been a great, great asset for us.
That's really great, because I think we could probably talk a long time about how important it is to know how to swim.
Yes.
It really is. It's a survival thing. But besides that, it's so fun to be able to know how to use the water and enjoy it. And that's not always accessible to everybody.
Correct.
Certain segments of our population don't have as much access, can't afford, or it might not be as prevalent in the culture to learn to swim. So how does this kind of address those needs?
I think that accessibility is a huge one for, in some cases, and people don't know that we have scholarships available, that we have, we don't want to ever turn anybody away from a swimming lesson. We do feel it's a life skill. Kids are 100% curious around water, and we want to make sure that there is 100% accessibility for anybody who would love to learn how to swim. And so we are able to offer scholarships during the year. We are also able to have these grants that help cover some of these swim lessons. So there is a way to learn to swim, and we encourage everybody to come in and learn how to swim, because unfortunately, over COVID, the kids didn't swim. There were a lot of issues with getting access to swimming areas and to swimming lessons. So what we are finding now is that kids don't know how to swim, that some of our kids that are just now at the age to become a lifeguard, they are not strong enough swimmers in order to be able to pass that class. So we are hoping now with these grants and these scholarships that we are able to bring that swimming level as a community up. We have kids that are safer in and around water.
So Brian, the YMCA has not always been involved with the Aquatic Center in Milton-Freewater. When did that association begin?
So 3 years ago, they took over the lifeguarding portion of the pool, and then just this year they added the concessions and front desk, which has just turned out great for everyone. They're really working well, and the concession stands have never done this well, and all the programs they're offering is really, really great for the community.
You might, there's some reasons why maybe the concessions are doing even better, besides the fact that we all love food and like to get a snack over there. But why are they doing so well this year?
The city of Milton-Freewater upgraded their point of sale system down there. So both the concession stand and the admissions desk take credit and debit cards, which was something that hadn't been the case in the past. That has made a tremendous difference. And we are just so thrilled that the city took that step, because it has not only allowed the community better access to the pool, but it has really helped our kids learn a new skill. So the employees that we have down there, they're learning how to run a point of sale system, and it's great to see them learning a new skill, as well as giving the community a little bit better access to the pool and to the snack bar.
Yeah, I have to tell you, it was a great surprise for me. Usually whenever we've been taking our kids to this pool since 2003, 4. I guess Garrett was a little too small in the last couple months of 2003, but 2004. And, I was always trying to remember, do I have the checkbook or do I have cash? And now it's just so nice. You got that plastic debit card, and you don't even care if it gets wet while you're at the pool, so you just got it there to take care of everything. It is pretty convenient.
Yes.
Really nice. Let's go back to lifeguarding, because not only are we, is the pool offering just a wonderful place for us to learn to swim, to enjoy the experience of being in the water, especially on a hot summer day, but what about all those jobs that are provided, for teenagers?
Yes, one of the neatest things that we were able to get this past year was a grant that allowed us to go into Milton-Freewater High School, so Mac High, and offer CPR, first aid, and lifeguard training for students. They were also able to get college credit for taking this class as well, which made it even a better, just amazing opportunity for them to do. So we ended up with about 8 or 9 kids out of that class either certified in first aid and CPR that are working our front desk and concession stands, or that got their lifeguarding certification as well as their first aid and CPR certification and are on deck as lifeguards. So we have been able to add now about 16 Milton-Freewater residents to our staff this summer at the Milton-Freewater pool, in part because of this class over at the high school. And it has been amazing to see these kids be able to now work in their own community. They don't have to worry about traveling to Walla Walla or to any of the other communities. They're able to stay right there at home in their own community and work a meaningful job where they are learning new skills and life skills.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge for the community. It's really great. And it makes me very happy for Milton-Freewater, of course. And it makes me happy for our whole valley, you know, that we have an aquatic center like this, that such good programs are going on there, and that we have opportunities for students to have really good jobs and learn and grow, and love that they got the college credit too.
And it looks like we're going to be able to do it again next year. So
Excellent.
We're looking forward to year 2 of building that staff in that community.
Fantastic. So, Brian, how do we keep the experience of going to the pool so affordable for our community?
Well, our council gets credit for setting the rates. We don't try to charge enough to cover all of our costs, but yeah, it's just one of our parks and recreation programs, and we do charge a fee, but it definitely doesn't cover all the costs. But we can again thank our council for keeping the rates low.
Yeah, and we do thank them because it is for most people fairly affordable. The rates are low, and it's such an enjoyable thing to do, and that gives so much more access, you know, for people to be able to come and enjoy that experience. And I think we all recognize that, you know, running an aquatic center is not an inexpensive proposition.
No.
We have so many people that are hired. Obviously, we've just been talking about that, and people are always an expense. And then just the maintenance of a pool and facility like that itself is really expensive. So again, it's an asset for our community, and I described it that way before, but the more that we talk about it, the more I keep thinking it really is, you know, on so many levels. Just a great thing for us to have access to. So as you think about, you know, people kind of wrapping up the season this year and then being able to come and enjoy the heated pool next year, you know, what do you hope people really experience? What do they really get out of being able to visit the Aquatic Center?
I think a place where the community can come together and have a great time. And I think that now that we're able to commingle more and we're able to get out there and enjoy life post-COVID, I think that this has been a huge we see almost 200 people sometimes coming in there just to enjoy the water, grab a snack at the snack bar, and just play with it. We see families coming in, so we're finding it is adding to quality family time, where their parents are bringing their kids in, grandparents are coming in with their families, and we're just wanting people to realize that this is not only a great place to learn important life skills, swimming, through one of our swim lesson programs, but a place where your family can just come and relax and have a great time.
It really is. That's been a tradition for us to just go there as a family. Sometimes we will you know, have a little supper, a little snack there, and then also just enjoy the water. Often we come after work during the evening time slot that it's open, which is just really, really an enjoyable experience. And I'm probably one of the oldest moms still going down the water slide, but
You'd be surprised.
Okay, but I love that thing. It's just really fun.
So popular, very popular.
Yeah, so it's a fun pool, a great place to go. So happy for the heaters that are coming. I have to say, there was a squeal of delight at our house when we heard that news. So just thankful for the two of you for what you're doing with that, and thank you for being willing to come and be interviewed today, talk a little bit about this. Appreciate it.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
And stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Time for Station News. Some of you have been wondering, what about that construction permit that we've applied for our new facility? It's kind of holding us up a little bit in that we're waiting so that we can actually get in there and start making the renovations to especially that studio space and a little bit in the office area so that we can get moved over to that new facility. Well, Keith Carlin, who's our volunteer and also board member at the station, met with the county regarding the building permit just this last week. It's all been submitted to them, but they wanted to come and meet with him. They wanted to actually look at a couple of things physically there at our building, which they did, and those things met with their approval, which is really good. And so he was able to clarify some things with them about the drawings by actually showing them, and now we're just waiting for them to issue the permit. So we expect it to be really, really soon. So I just wanted to give you that update. Also, you need to be aware and marking your calendars that Blue Mountain Television is going to be at the Walla Walla Fair and Frontier Days. I've already said that a couple times on this show, so you're probably saying, yes, we know you're going to be there. Well, we are, and our booth is going to be in a better location than it has been for a number of years, right near the front door. So we're excited about the location that they've given to us. We're really happy to be able to have the opportunity to talk with you and to meet with you instead of just being here behind the camera and sharing something to you and you watch it on demand or on Blue Mountain Television, but you don't get to talk with us. This is just a great opportunity for us to interact together and to hopefully tell a lot more people in our community about the station and some of the great things that we have to offer so that people can become more aware and tune in and really enjoy the programming that we have on Blue Mountain Television. So watch for us at the fair. And then, of course, we promised we'd give a report about the ASI convention. And I've already shared with you probably the most important thing that I took away from the ASI convention. And that's a spiritual thing. And I couldn't overstate how important that aspect of this convention was. Every direction you turned were beautiful, beautiful spiritual messages and other people who were there to do ministry for God. So it's very encouraging, very exciting, really, really enjoyable time. Also should know that I made a thorough exploration of the exhibition hall and every booth and talked with so many people, just spent literally hours chatting and networking with others. And I was able to talk with the leaders and directors and other people who work at all of the major broadcast and video entities and some radio ones as well, all the people involved in similar ministries to ours, people like John Bradshaw and Doug Batchelor and Sean Boonstra and Ty Gibson and James Rafferty, and I'm going to leave somebody out here in trying to make that list, but you get the idea. Able to really talk with those ministry leaders and enjoy some good interaction with them. So this was very valuable time, able to share with them what some of our needs are here at Blue Mountain Television, and they were also able to share with me some of the things they're looking for. And I'll just put this out there. Both Amazing Facts and It Is Written are looking for editors. So if you're a video editor, you have experience in that, training in it, maybe some education in that field, they are looking for those types. So it was just really, really good to have those kind of conversations and a lot of other ministries that might not be broadcast related, but they're really, really important as well that I was able to learn more about. Found a couple of people to interview on this show. In fact, people who have ministries in Washington State. Might not be immediately because we have to find a time when they're kind of in our area so that I can interview them, but I'm excited about that possibility too. So being at ASI was fantastic, and I thank Blue Mountain Broadcasting Association and thereby you who have donated to the ministry for sending me there on behalf of this ministry. Really, really valuable visit. Speaking of supporting, you know, it wouldn't be like me to end the show without saying we need your help here at this ministry. Absolutely we do. We had a board meeting last night and we looked at our last couple of financial statements, and we had a really, really strong month, and then we had a really, really low month with donations. And so we're hoping that the next month is going to be one of those months with big donations for this ministry, because we really need them to be big every month in order to keep moving forward and to pay our bills at the station. And so don't let summer be the time when you just kind of forget about this ministry. We really need to hear from you with your gifts. Your gifts for our daily operations are so important. And we're trying to keep you updated about the move too. Of course, that project is going to need some major giving and then lots of smaller gifts from all of us in order to make it continue to go forward. So thank you for what you've already done, what you're planning to do for Blue Mountain Television. Also, and I wouldn't want this to feel trivial at all, we appreciate your prayers for this ministry, and we need them, as we are really always seeking to do God's will with what we're doing here and to move forward in a way of integrity, a way that will be the most effective, and a way that we can reach people for His kingdom and just share with more people within our sphere of influence about how good God is, how much He loves us, and what His beautiful character looks like to the best of our ability. So, God has a great future plan for us as well, and we want people to know that He does, and that He is coming again, and that He has plans for each one of us. So let's be about that work, and the way we can do that is by praying, is by donating, is by telling other people about the station so that they can watch, especially if you've got a favorite program that really speaks to your heart, really ministers to you. Share that with somebody so that they can watch it too. Well, I want to thank you again for watching the show today. Really appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you next time.